I can't really remember the last time I had a chance to go in the backyard and just run around.
School's just so much pressure that every day I would wake up dreading it.
I'm afraid that our children are going to sue us for stealing their childhoods.
I would spend 6 hours a night on my homework.
You have to get into the top schools.
You have to take tests and do interviews.
It's gone way to the extreme.
We're all caught up in it.
That's the movie Race to Nowhere. It really hits the nail on the head for so many parents. We tell our children they have to get 9 to 12 hours of sleep to succeed. Then they have to have free time and family time and pile on schoolwork, extracurricular sports. I mean, there are only 24 hours in the day, and some parents are saying this extreme pressure to succeed is actually setting their children up to fail. And what's it for? Joining me now, Callie Bybee. She is a mom with children in middle school and high school, and also joining us, former school counselor Michael McGill, to talk about whether this is worth it. Callie, I'm going to start with you. Experts say students should have 10 minutes of homework for every grade. How much does your daughter have as a freshman in high school?
A lot more than that. I'd say on average about 2 to 3 hours a night. And then if she has a project or a test, we've seen up to 5 or 6 hours plus weekend work.
So double. And actually, she made a video for us to detail what her experience is like. Let's watch.
Sure.
For homework, I usually have 2 to 3 hours a night, but if I have a big project, it'll be 5 to 6 hours.
Do you work on the weekends?
I do work on the weekends. Depending on how much I have, it can be anywhere from an hour to 4. My free time during the day kind of consists of lunch, which is, I believe, 20 minutes, so it may be 25. Lunch is my time to socialize with friends.
20 minutes, hours of homework. What does this do to her?
It just puts a lot of stress on them. There's no more downtime. There's no more time to just say, just be and to relax. My daughter loves to read, and she doesn't have time to do that because she's constantly doing schoolwork.
I mean, she doesn't have time to read. Michael, is it worth it? I mean, I get it. It's all because they're told that this is the only way that they can get into school. AP classes, good colleges need all of these extracurriculars, but is it worth it?
You know, that's a big question. And on one hand, it's a juxtaposition because we have some schools that are underperforming and that are underpreparing our students, right? Then we have other schools that really go above and beyond that really don't meet the social and the emotional needs. And my sister, she's actually in high school. She's a senior. Hi, me, giving her a shout out. She's a senior, and she goes to a college preparatory academy and essentially explains how it's like a factory. There's no time to rest. There's no time to play. And the social research is very clear. Rest and play equate to healthy brain growth and development. So if you think about it from that perspective, it's not really worth it. The means just don't, they don't measure out.
There's literally no time to sleep.
Right.
Some schools have said, listen, I'm going to opt out of homework. Is that, Michael, do you think, in your opinion, a better solution, or does that go too extreme on the other end?
So this is the thing. We have to go back into what is the reasoning for homework. Homework should be reinforcing what was taught in the classroom. And I used to actually be a classroom teacher as well as on the climate and culture team. And when I go and I give lectures and talks throughout the country to educators, I always emphasize that homework should be a supplement to what we've already learned. But homework doesn't have to be a traditional piece of paper or writing activity. Homework can be practicing meditation. Homework can be an interactive activity with the mom and the dad, or going outside and developing social skills and emotional skills. Homework really should be expanded. We really got to get out of that box that homework is a mundane book work, read 50 pages, do 20 pages of this, 30 pages of this. It's crazy. Young people are not getting the skills.
About it. I can't believe it either. And the mama bear in me, Callie, thinks that if it were me and my kid were in high school, and I know he's only 3, so I cannot relate, that I would be storming into that principal's office and I would be saying, stop it.
Right.
Stop telling them that they're not going to succeed if they don't have it. Do you feel like you have control over it at all?
I feel like you don't have control because it's a kind of a cultural thing. It's just the way it is. You know, early on they're encouraged to take AP classes and to take, extra math and to kind of continue just to push ahead and push ahead. You know, our family, we've been asking a lot, why? What's the end game? Where are we trying to go with that? And trying to rethink some of those things as we go along.
Michael, what would you say to a parent like me that would come to your school counselor office and say, I'm not putting him in all this. I don't care whether he doesn't get into school.
Such a good question. And first, let me celebrate the mom that's on here. I celebrate you for having a sense of awareness to understand that your child is much more than just their test score. They're much more than just how many AP courses they've taken. In order to change the schools, we first have to change society. This is a systemic societal issue. Let me tell you what I know to be true. People are praised when they work like a slave, but they're often told they're lazy. They're often told they don't take life seriously when they take time for rest and play and vacations. That's a real societal issue that's systemic, that's stemming down into the school system. So if you want to change the school system, we got to first change how parents connect and commune with kids. Because if the kids, remember, parents, we model by word and by deed. If they religiously see you working all of the time and preaching to them that they got to be in the AP class for this and the AP class for that, we teach them that their worthiness is equated to their work, and it's not. It's equated to the internal stuff. And
Michael,
so I celebrate you, Mom, for doing that.
That's right, Michael. I'm going to be calling you in 15 years when I need some talking off the ledge. Michael McGill, Callie Bybee, thank you so much for being with me. And